What should you do with the second pick in fantasy football this year? I'll tell you with this mock draft, 10-team, full PPR mock draft. On the Sleeper app, you could do these mock drafts on Sleeper as well to fine-tune your drafting before your league gets going later on this month, presumably. 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a quarterback, a tight end, a flex, and 5 bench spots. I don't really know what's going to happen at the number 1 draft pick this year. It's going to depend, I think, from league to league. Bijan Robinson goes here. You could see Saquon Barkley go. A lot of times I think Jamar Chase is going to go. Jamar Chase is who we're going to pick here because he falls to us with the second pick. Didn't go number 1. He would be my number 1 pick, so I'm happy to get him here at number 2 as we wait for the draft board to unfold. So that locks us into a wide receiver, hopefully the best one in fantasy for this season. And as we come back around, we've only got one team that will make its 2 selections between our picks in round 2 and round 3. I have taken so much Brock Bowers in these spots, I got to be honest with you. And especially in this 10-team format, I just think it's really, really valuable to get an elite player at tight end because you're trying to figure out a way to differentiate yourself. And when there are 1, maybe 2 tight ends that are going to be difference makers and the rest of them are kind of crapshoot, hard to project, that really feels like a way to do it. But I could also go the quarterback route with Josh Allen. But there are more quarterbacks that can make a difference on my roster than there are tight ends. I'm getting down here to the very end. I'm going to put Brock Bowers in Q. Ladd McConkey, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. We don't want to auto-pick. Don't auto-pick us. We're going to take Brock Bowers. I really like that it did that when I set my Q. Don't auto-pick me. Yeah, Josh Jacobs, I'm just not really enamored with him, and McConkey's a good player. That would have been a fine pick. But we'll go Brock Bowers, and look, no quarterbacks off the board, so we can try and double-tap this and solve our quarterback and tight end slots in the same fell swoop. Josh Allen's the very top of ADP. You don't want to draft strictly off ADP, but it could be a good guide to understand what other people are going to do. Chase Brown is a running back that I like in this next range, and we could get ourselves caught a little bit without taking an early running back. But let's see how that looks, because this would be tantalizing to take Josh Allen and Brock Bowers. Jamar Chase should carry the load for us at wide receiver. This isn't necessarily the strategy that I look to deploy every year. Honestly, most times I'm waiting on tight end and quarterback. But I'm doing a lot of these videos demonstrating how strong your teams might be able to look if you add maybe the best quarterback and the best tight end to the same fantasy roster. Taking a look here at how we proceed, we really should be considering a running back, but I don't really know. Omarion Hampton, it's a rookie, but he's a rookie that's going to play for the Chargers, who should be running the ball under Jim Harbaugh. So he's a consideration here. And then really right now we're just focusing for a while on running backs and wide receivers. We shouldn't be looking anywhere else. Evans, I draft younger players. That's my best advice. Draft younger players. Don't be caught holding the bag on a veteran who has been so great for his whole career, but now you don't really know what he'll be. There's no reason to think Evans is going to suddenly fall off, but eventually it happens to everybody. We're going to take Hampton and then talk a little bit about this next pick. Devontae Adams, okay, like we've got a running back now, so we're probably taking a second wide receiver here. Ken Walker would be a running back that I would take, but I'm not really in PPR. I can wait on my second running back a little bit, and we're going to go receiver. Adams, right now, we don't know what the deal is with Matthew Stafford, so we're going to kind of play it a little safer. We're not going to take him. DJ Moore, it's a crowded Bears receiving core. He could be the number 1 receiver in that room, or somebody like Rome Odunze could surpass him, or he's having to share too much with Colston Loveland, maybe a Luther Burden. DK Metcalf, I just think with Arthur Smith, they're not going to throw the ball enough, so I find myself kind of sneaking down the board here a little bit. Sutton's not a bad pick, but I'm just not so sure that I would click his name over some of these names thereafter. And Xavier Worthy is the one that I'm clicking here. Might be a bit of a reach, but I don't think he was going to make it all the way back to us in the 6th round. So we're going to take Xavier Worthy and let him be our second wide receiver. Feels right. We see Jamison Williams go off the board before our next pick. Some other receivers that we are always considering in this range. Zay Flowers, Devontae Smith, DJ Moore would be a fine pick. But I just think we were on the wrong side of the board for DJ Moore. I like Xavier Worthy. Get the weapon for Patrick Mahomes. Teteroa McMillan, Travis Hunter, Jalen Waddle. We're hoping to leave this turn with 2 of the 3 of them. We'll take McMillan first, and we hope that Hunter or Waddle will drop to us to be our flex. And we're going to get it. We're going to get both options here. I lean Travis Hunter over Waddle, but I don't. It's a flip of a coin. I wake up tomorrow, I might feel differently about it. But that's a really good, you just see the value in round 6 and 7. 5, 6, and 7 for those wide receivers to be there. That's the reason I am willing to do something unorthodox like go early quarterback and early tight end on the same team. It's kind of a risky build when it comes to running back because Hampton's a rookie, so we don't really know what we're going to get out of him. But we feel pretty good about it. A guy being a rookie is not a reason not to take a player. For me, it's the reason that you do take a player. But we're going to look for that second running back within our next 2 picks. I like Tyrone Tracy. When I need a running back 2 in this range, I'm looking at Tracy, I'm looking at Jalen Warren, I'm looking at ETN. These guys might not be superstars, but I think they're going to get some decent volume on their respective teams, and I think they're good players. They can catch it a little bit. Brian Robinson, that could be a good pick, but I just want somebody that catches the ball a little bit more than his offense has shown him to do. He can do it, but the Washington Commanders don't ask him to do it a lot. Austin Eckler is kind of the running back that's a receiver in that group. So I'm going to grab Rome Odunze here, and then we're going to take a running back that falls. And Team 1 didn't take a running back at all. Oops, scroll up there for you. And so we've got our pick of Tracy, Warren, and ETN. And I think I'm going to go Tyrone Tracy. I just think he's the top running back on the Giants, and Cam Scadaboo doesn't concern me. I just don't think he's going to be a big factor. A lot of rookies I like. He's a rookie that I'm skeptical because they've got a good young running back that just emerged in Tyrone Tracy, and I don't think they're going to just cast him aside. So now we're just looking to fill out the rest of our bench. I really, really like the way this team is coming out. Because, again, could I have waited and really loaded up instead of quarterback and instead of tight end? Could I have loaded up at running back and wide receiver early? Yeah. But I feel like when you're looking at the mid-round picks that I've made at receiver, for example, guys like Worthy, McMillan, and Hunter are so much more intriguing than the other position groups in rounds 5 through 7. This is the kind of strategy stuff that I think can be very valuable when going into your draft. Like, Baker Mayfield is good, but he's not Josh Allen. Quinshon Judkins has no business being drafted this early. Don't take him in redraft. Just don't. Like, Joe Mixon is a great example of a guy I don't want. I just feel like I'd rather take the receivers in that range than the running backs in that range. And look, there's still good receivers. Ricky Pearsall, Emeka Egbuka. I'm going to grab one of those guys for my bench. Rookies, upside. We've got 6 receivers now. We have to start filling in running back. And Jordan Mason is interesting at this spot in the draft. Aaron Jones, the other running back there. Mason is more of a run-first guy than a pass catcher. Aaron Jones will catch more passes in that offense, but reports that Mason could be brought in to take more of the goal line work off of Aaron Jones. And if you're a believer in that Vikings offense, which I am, I think if Sam Darnold could get them as far as he got them last year, then J.J. McCarthy, a first-round pick, should certainly be able to do it. They've got a ton of weapons. So that's not a bad, zero RB or hero RB type pick. When you didn't really prioritize running back, Hampton was our only early pick, and that was still a late 4th rounder. And he's a rookie, so there's, a little bit of unknown quantity to him, even though I feel very good about the pick. Mason's a decent one that, hey, week 1 happens, and he ends up getting 15 carries and 5 red zone carries. You're thinking, okay, maybe that's our running back too. That's a nice archetype of a player to bring in. Another good archetype is a guy that's young at the running back position that we're drafting him in one of the last 2 rounds here. And if it doesn't work out for him, we can just cut him. But if Jaden Blue ends up being the starting running back for the Dallas Cowboys at some point, well, that's going to be more than enough to fill our running back 2 slot in our weekly lineup. So we're looking for bench running backs that would have that kind of characterization. Facial Tootin could be that. I could see an argument for Braylon Allen to be drafted here. Supposed to get a lot of work. Dylan Sampson could be interesting here. I'm just looking for a young running back to finish out this draft. And then we can feel very good about this team. Tootin, I think, is going to be too far down the depth chart. So, like, if you're impatient, that might not be the rookie running back to draft. Let's take, there's still a little bit of squirreliness with James Cook and his contract and rumors about trading. Could the Cowboys make a trade for somebody? Well, if they do, Ray Davis would really emerge if James Cook somehow gets dealt. I don't think he will. But again, for a last-round pick, you can do a lot worse. And then when waivers run after the first week, you can cut him. You can cut Ray Davis. You can cut Jaden Blue if he's third on the depth chart and you don't want to wait. Those are the types of moves that I think make sense. So, take a look at our roster here. Josh Allen and Brock Bowers, the anchors at quarterback and tight end. We've got Jamar freaking Chase, talk about an anchor, to carry the group, followed by Xavier Worthy, Tetaroa McMillan, Travis Hunter, Roma Dunze, and Emeka Egbuka. Youth, upside, explosiveness. We love it. Omarion Hampton. Can't wait to see what he looks like for the Chargers. If he's a little disappointing, well, we've got Tyrone Tracy and Jordan Mason that could slide in. And then 2 running backs at the end of our bench, Jaden Blue and Ray Davis. And we're just looking for those guys to plug in if their roles end up dictating that they should. All right, so that's kind of the way that I look at it from the second draft pick here in PPR for Fantasy Football 2025. Let me know if you have any thoughts on the draft or anything that you would have done differently. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in for this video. Stay tuned for more on the Brenden Schaeffer Fantasy Football channel. Peace.